bossy, snobbish, overconfident, overweening, over-enthusiastic, generally over. This is Leo. Those are, of course, the low qualities of Leos, so coming from the low consciousness. Today in the video, I'm going to tell you about how certain planets manifest their energy when they are positions in sign of Leo. Welcome to Astrology. I'm Cyprian, and my mission is to guide you through spiritual awakening. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Leo. And whenever I talk about certain zodiac sign, I really get into that energy of that sign. So today I talk about Leo, and actually I have some Leo planets in Leo in my chart, so I kind of resonate with this energy very well. So Leo is known for their own theatrical behaviors. They all stem from the fact that they love attention. And the love for attention can be bad or can be good. If they need someone else's attention in order to feel the lack inside, then it's not good, of course, and it means that basically they really want that much validation from other people in order to start finding their authentic self and faith in themselves. Maybe not finding their authentic self, but finding like more self-love. But if they operate from the higher consciousness, Leos often get that attention no matter if they want it or not, because there is a creative and inspirational charismatic spirit inside of those people. So we know that Leo is a fire sign, and the fact that it's fire sign, it means it's enthusiastic, action driven. They want to go forward, and they really are focused on identity. They want to know the identity, they want to express their identity, they want to freely be themselves. That's what Leo wants. But it's also a fixed sign, which means that the identity and need for expressing identity is a long-term goal. It's not something as like in case of Aries that is very spontaneous and limited to the moment. They actually want to maintain the identity. They want to grow the identity. So part of the fixed sign features is that they have accumulating. They have an accumulating tendencies. So in case of Scorpio, it's accumulating of emotional connections and feelings. In case of Taurus, it could be accumulating of everything that gives them like sense of ownership, so it could be the material stuff, for example. But in case of Leo, it's accumulating their own identity. So they want to be bigger and better, and of course, depending on where they are at, it's gonna express itself quite different. Every single planet in Leo will have such tendencies. So Mars in Leo, the action is big. They go for really they want a big show. They want to achieve great things. They want to make an impression. They want to make an impact. Jupiter in Leo has this overblown faith. And also sometimes when they lose faith, it's like a complete collapse. It's a complete drama going on in there. Venus in Leo, it's of course, in the relationships or in love, they just basically need a lot of attention, and they need to do things together because fire is action driven. So if Venus represents, for example, the way we generate love and the way we show appreciation and want to be appreciated, Venus in Leo means that basically someone wants to be appreciated for who they really deeply are and for their creative energy, and they want to do things together because fire likes doing, fire likes adventures. Another feature of Leo is, or maybe of fixed signs, is the self-worth. So for Leo, feeling worthy for who they are is extremely important. And that's why we may observe lots of theatrical, overblown, dramatic Leos, because it all comes down to the fact that they actually do not value themselves enough, and through that attention and impression they want to find their own worth. So the journey of Leo is to find self-acceptance, to find their authenticity, to really allow themselves to be who they are. And they will always have a little bit of that creative playfulness about them, and that energy of joy, because that's what's their most familiar or most authentic for them. They love joy and they love anger, so they like this kind of extreme emotions that come together. So basically they love joy and they love anger. Those are the most familiar maybe, or most suitable feelings for them. So they are quite extreme feelings. They're actually good with feelings. They like emotions, like all fire signs are actually good with emotions. That's something that fire and water have in common. But what's the difference is that fire goes better with more extreme and apparent emotions. So, water goes into very subtle feelings, and what's in the air but it's not really visible. Fire goes well with only intense emotions that are, out there, that you can really see what the feeling is. Anger, joy are great examples. Passion is another example of that kind of emotion, and Leo feels really good with it. So every one of us creates their own reality. We all know that we are individualized pieces of God souls that wants to express themselves and experience living life. So, but Leo is a little bit more aware of that in some way. They run the show. They know they are the leaders. They know that the world belongs to them. And it's about awakening those qualities in Leo. And of course, depending where that Leo is positioned, because if the Sun is in the 4th house, for example, that Leo will show only their own side more in the home and intimate private space. And of course, which house the Sun rules and where Sun is positioned will give us much more details about it. So what is the lesson that Leo needs to learn in this life? Definitely moderation, definitely boundaries, whereas they rarely, depending of course on the individual chart, but when I just generalize and talk about Leo, they rarely have problems with allowing others to enter the boundaries. They more have problems with crossing boundaries of other people. So they need to start understanding that other people are also individuals. They also want to experience their lives. They have their own values and perceptions, and you don't have to impose everything on them. And you're not always a leader, and you're not always the center of attention. So that's what Leos often have to understand. And even if we deal with shy Leos, they still might have those tendencies, just a little bit more hidden. And yes, the life could be dramatic. The drama makes the life much better and, much more fascinating, enthusiastic, entertaining. But it's not always about the drama. Sometimes, just being soft and subtle is also good. But that's, of course, when Leo operates from the lower level of consciousness. So to summarize, planets in Leo are very intensely charged. They are a little bit dramatic. So depending on what planet it is, if it's Saturn, it's the responsibilities and authorities will be a little bit like Leo-like for someone. And then if you have Mars in Leo, the action, the desire, the ego, sex will be more like features, like traits, will have more traits of Leo. Moon in Leo wants to feel safe by getting attention, and either you can suck that attention again from someone else, or you can basically means you have to fully give attention to yourself, to your body, to your feelings, process it, and completely don't care about anyone else, because that's your Leo permission here. And with every planet in Leo, you have to interpret through that. But the very key thing is to understand the alchemy of fire and fixed sign. And when you just basically sit and meditate of that combinations, you will get exactly all the features and all the traits of Leo. It's nothing to memorize. And it will just give you that sense of the archetype of that zodiac sign. And so that's it for the Leo. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please press like. If you don't like it, then don't press like. If you would like these videos to be more accessible, then you can subscribe. And thank you for watching.